We've been talking about Class 4A Region 4 tonight. We're going to continue to talk about Class 4A Region 4. It's all local teams in that region. One of those teams, the Cleburne County Tigers. We welcome in the head coach of the Tigers, Coach Joby Burns, with us tonight. Coach, glad to have you in over from Heflin tonight. Joined by Coach Michael Short and Gerhard Mathangani once again. Coach, 63-23 tonight. An offensive explosion for your team against Talladega. More importantly, a region win. Kind of a strange game tonight because you had a big lead. You're trying to go ahead and close that out and get on to the next week. But there was an injury in the game and a big delay in the game. Tell us what happened there.
Well, Talladega had a guy that had a neck injury, so obviously you want to be careful with that. And yeah, it was, and just took a while in the second half. But again, you just want to make sure that the guy's okay, and hadn't heard a whole lot from it. But hopefully everything's fine. Certainly,
our prayers go out to that young man and his family. Gerhard, you got some highlights. Now, you were over at the pit at Heflin at L.E. Bell Field tonight for the Cleburne County Tigers and opening up region play with Talladega. Take us through the highlights from over at Heflin tonight.
Yeah, really festive atmosphere out at Heflin. That's my first time seeing the new turf coaching. It looks fantastic out there. Really, really good. Let's go out to L.E. Bell Field as a meeting of the Tigers here is Talladega in town today in the first region matchup against a really good Cleburne County football team. Let's start with Kyler McGrin, quarterback that you know well. Coach heading over, hits Nate Adams there in the flats. And Adams does the rest. Great blocking on the outside that you didn't see there in the frame down to the 8-yard line. A couple plays later, handoff to Dylan McGrin, a 5-yard touchdown run, just like that. Cleburne County on the board, 7-0 early on. Then, Coach, you got a really big play on special teams here. Jacob Cavender with a really solid return. Great blocking, but this is pure athleticism here. Oh, number 9 getting on the outside. I like that number, by the way. It's the one I wore in Homewood High School. Outside. Big return into Tiger territory, into Talladega Tiger territory. I should clarify there. Coach Burns and his guys talking up. This is the very next snap after that conversation. Touchdown. I saw your guys talking about this, calling it a tutty. Bo Clay into the end zone there from the pass from Kyler McGrin. When I left, it was 14-0. You quickly scored as I was leaving to make it 21-0. Ended up putting up 63 points on Talladega today and going 1-2 on the season, picking up victory number 1. Coach, a really, really solid win.
Thank you.
Coach, let's talk about the game tonight. What did you see the biggest improvement on your team this year? Obviously, offense, 63 points tonight. Tell us your perspective on the improvement that your team made this week.
Well, of course, our coaches did a great job all week long, and I definitely think our offensive line played a lot better tonight. We made some plays. We, caught the ball in the pass game a little bit better than we have the first 2 games. But, yeah, just overall, better offensive performance. Got after it really good this week, and it paid off tonight.
Well, you had 35 carries tonight for 341 yards. Right. I mean, that right there goes in and tells you your offensive line got better from last week to this week. And then Kyler McGrin. You can't say enough about Kyler. I'm sure people have talked. You know how people talk. Quarterback a lot of times takes too much blame. They take too much credit.
Right.
But, he was 14 carries tonight for 141 yards rushing. He was 5 for 9 for 52 yards and a touchdown pass. I mean, I thought he had a solid game, but then again, it goes back and leads to that offensive line. And I see that, but I was proud tonight. Your defense flew around to the ball, moved around better, tackled well on the perimeter. Because Talladega's got some kids that can run. They got some athletes too, so I thought defensively you played well tonight.
We did. We came out a little bit in the second half, a little flat, and didn't tackle quite as well in the second half as we did the first half. But, yeah, I felt like we played well defensively the first couple of games. But, yeah, Kyler, he had a good game tonight, and he's just a great kid. And he's really he works so hard, does things right, and he does a lot for us, and we expect a lot out of him, and he delivers.
Well, he does, because I saw him last Saturday. We was eating at the same place, and he was one bruised, beat up boy. But again, like you said, he's a great kid. Yes. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. He's going to always be in the right place at the right time. And those kind of kids will win for you.
That's right.
They're solid kids. So I was just real proud to watch them tonight, and they did well. And it was just a great win for Cleburne County.
It was, and we're glad to get that first region win. And that's been the focus all week long. Go 1-0 in the region and put ourselves in a position to to hopefully make the playoffs and just keep getting better each and every week.
Well, there's the chances there. I mean, it's a great chance to get in the playoffs. Exactly. That win tonight was one of your biggest wins.
That's right. That's right.
Who are some of the other players that you really leaned on early in the season? I know you were still developing. You're developing depth. I think every team is at this point in the season. Who are some of the guys that you're leaning on? We saw Jacob Cavender doing a good job defensively and on special teams for you. Who are some of the other guys that you've leaned on here early in the game?
Well, a couple others. Obviously Bo as a receiver and the defensive back. We're having to play a lot more guys both ways this year. Jake Dingler, which he moved to the offensive line today, but he's been a starting linebacker for us and does a really, really good job. Nate Adams playing outside linebacker, and just Nate's a really smart kid and gets us lined up and gets us where we need to be. You got to have guys like that. So those guys have all done a great job, and yeah, we do lean a lot on those guys.
Coach, being in a 7-team region as opposed to an 8-team region, you get weird scheduling. So you get a weird, kind of odd open date that comes at a weird time, and so the selection of teams to play kind of dwindles. You step back outside, non-region play coming up next. I'm sure when you schedule this game coming up with the Moody Blue Devils, I don't know that they had the players that they have now, Coach, coming in. Tell us about just the quirk of the schedule and how it's worked out. Where you get a couple of non-region games, then you get a region game, and then you go non-region again. So, and then talk about Moody.
Well, one of the things that I really wanted to do, and we had done this, a couple years back at Clay Central, was I like having week 5 off if we can have it. And that was one of my big things, is I wanted to try to have week 5 off. I think in the middle of the year it gives you a chance to sort of, refresh and just, so that was one of my big things, and it just sort of the way the schedule worked out. No, they didn't. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't think they had all these guys when we scheduled them, but hey, it is what it is. We're gonna get ready and get after them, and go see what we can do. But they'll be a good team. I know they will. I'll be honest with you though. I mean, our focus is week to week, so we'll start tonight on them, looking at them, or early tomorrow morning, and so. We've just been worried about Talladega all this week, but I know they're going to be a really, really good team.
Well, looking at your non-region schedule, when you played Northside last week, very close ball game, had a chance to win right down to the end. They're ranked.
Yes.
Moody's ranked.
Yes.
Welborn's ranked.
Right.
I mean, everybody you're playing is ranked. To me, your schedule is one of the toughest. I mean, just the region teams you have that are ranked. So y'all have a very, very, very tough schedule.
Right.
But I think if you get through it, you'll have a chance to get in the playoffs.
You will, and that's the purpose of it. I mean, you want to play good people, and that's the goal. I mean, of course, we want to win every game we play, and we're going to make the playoffs and get in there, and and the teams that we play when we get there, it's going to help us. We won't play probably anybody in the playoffs better than we're playing in the regular season.
No,
but it's. I think it does make you better, and we do. We want to play good people.
Coach, we always try to have a light-hearted question for you. And one of the light-hearted questions I've got for you, I really love Heflin. It's a great town. It's one you talk about, the consummate southern town where everybody rallies around the school and the football team, especially out in Alabama, and just the atmosphere at Heflin on Friday nights. You came from a small town. You've coached in small towns like we all have here on this desk here. Can you describe kind of just not necessarily football, but just Heflin and the community and what they do to support? I know you had Pard Night tonight, and the whole community just gets involved with not just football, with everything that goes on over there. Your thoughts, now that you've been there for a while, your thoughts on Heflin, Alabama?
Oh, they're great. They are. They've been great to us, and Coach, I know you know all about that, but they really are. It's what high school football is supposed to be like. We've got people that, so far I've had every one of my pregame meals sponsored. People just, they rally behind you. And I'm gonna tell you what, our students have they have picked it up this year, and they've started a student section. I think tonight they had a white out, and I kept seeing the baby powder go up when we scored, and And you know, that was great. And you know, and they have really done a great job. Last week they were in their construction uniforms, and they're picking it up. And so, you know, those guys have been great. But the whole community is great, and they do support us, and they take care of us, and it's awesome. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Well, I was praying for you when the baby powder went up. I said, Lord have mercy, that black track's going to turn white down there.
Yeah,
but they're having fun.
When my wife was telling me about it, she said, well, I don't, you know, I said, well, somebody's got to clean that, and guess who it's going to be. But that's all right. Look, if for a win, I'll clean it. I'll be out there in the morning with a pressure washer.
I'll come with you and help you, Coach.
Coach, thank you for being with us tonight. Congratulations on the big win. Again, I want to pray for the player from Talladega that was injured tonight. I hope that he is well tonight. Big win for Cleburne County as they beat Talladega in that Battle of Tigers 63-23.